Well. Joy Taylor been out here getting them cheeks slapped this entire time, huh? Why am I not surprised?
Do I smell a whore?
So you guys have not heard it yet. There is a bombshell of a lawsuit that was dropped yesterday on Fox Sport News 1 by a former hairstylist. And the lawsuit actually has a total of 27 defendants on it, including Skip Bayless and host Joy Taylor. But we're only going to focus on about 5 or 6 people. But if you guys haven't heard about it, I got an article here from Newsweek that breaks down what's going on. We're also going to be reading some court documents as well. Let's go. So I got this article from Newsweek, and this article was actually published just over an hour ago. Fox Sports versus Noshin Faraji. A former Fox Sports hairstylist is suing the network, its parent company, Fox Corporation, and former presenter Skip Bayless over claims that Bayless made unwanted sexual advancements towards her. The full list of defendants include Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports EVP Charlie Dixon, Skip Bayless, and FS1 host Joy Taylor, and 25 other people. We're going to talk about Charlie Dixon and Skip Bayless here in a second. Who is Noshin Faraji? Noshin Faraji is the former hairstylist claiming that Bayless, the host of Fox Sports Undisputed, sexually harassed her, including claiming in her suit that Bayless offered her $1.5 million to have sex with him. Which is crazy, bro. It ain't a pussy on this planet that's worth $1.5 million. But as I digress. And I think this is a good question. Why is Joy Taylor listed in the lawsuit? Because the lawsuit pertains to Noshin against Fox Sports 1. So why is Taylor listed in this lawsuit? Joy Taylor, the current host for Fox Sports 1, is also listed as a defendant being sued by Faraji. Taylor used to be the moderator on Bayless' show, and Faraji accused her in the suit of bullying over her ethnicity, stating in early June 23, the treatment reached a breaking point as Miss Taylor, Joy, began openly mocking Miss Faraji's English. Example, claiming that she could not understand Miss Faraji's accent and complaining about Miss Faraji's humming. That's fine. Oh, that's fine and great as far as her including Joy in there. She's a little petty, but who knows what's what. It's not only that she's suing Joy Taylor. In her suit against Fox Sport 1, along with Skip Bayless, she completely aired out Joy Taylor, threw her under the bus, and I'm here for it. I made a few videos on Joy Taylor, and Joy Taylor just strikes me as not a nice person. Very arrogant person. She believes that she's one of the baddest women walking this earth, and just has a poor attitude overall, and masculine as all hell. But you guys got to see the court documents that was filed pertaining to this. They are wild. Let's go to the documents, man. Let's see what we got here. And it reads, Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon is Charlie Dixon. He was an executive vice president of content for FS1. Here's his picture right now. So if you see Mr. Dixon, that's who we're referring to. Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor Undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. In approximately March 2016, Mrs. Faraji met Miss Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of a lifetime at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when Tyler was sick or otherwise missed time. Miss Taylor told Miss Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami. She was lonely in Los Angeles. Miss Taylor then befriended Miss Faraji. In approximately May 26, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with an older man. Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon, and Executive Vice President Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production on FS1. Miss Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Miss Faraji asked who he was. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, whenever Miss Faraji would meet with Miss Taylor for drinks, Mr. Dixon would arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Miss Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, Miss Faraji suspected that the pair was sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Miss Faraji and she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, Miss Faraji kept her opinions to herself. In approximately June 2016, while at work, Mr. Faraji noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly, the guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator. Miss Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. Not only was Dixon, the Fox executive, married, Joy Taylor was married at that given time.
And Joy said during the break, you're very funny about how you view, from a woman's perspective, you were not offended by what Tiger did when he was at the height of his game, cheated on his wife, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'm not his wife.
mean, I'm sure that sounds very callous and cold, but I just don't know what that has to do with me.
And I thought for some reason that Joy Taylor was married to former NBA player Earl Watson, but I actually got that mistaken. Joy Taylor was engaged to Earl Watson. They never tied the knot. She was actually married to former baseball player Richard Giannotti for 1 year from 2016 to 2017, the same years that's listed on the court documents in this lawsuit. So the executive being Dixon, banging talent outside of his marriage, and Joy Taylor taking that poll to get her a job because they were saying he didn't really have a career doing anything nothing related to sports, but just she didn't have a career, period, until she was given the opportunity by the Fox executive in 2016. She was just known for being Joy Taylor, the sister of a Hall of Fame football player. And I almost forgot this part. Around August 2016, Mrs. Faraji attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. During the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Mrs. Taylor. This is from the document, but then I did a little search on the internet and found this article. Why did Richard Giannotti part ways with Joy Taylor? Unconfirmed reports have it that Richard Giannotti parted ways with Joy Taylor because she cheated on him. The erstwhile couple split. Media outlets dug deep to find out led to the end of their marriage to no avail. While later speculation hit the grapevine that Joy was actually culprit. She said to have been unfaithful to the former baseball player. So right there is why their marriage only lasted 1 calendar year. She cheated on him with the executive, Dixon, and he found out about it. But you already know, you let Joy Taylor tell you, she worked hard and has to work twice as hard just to be able to get those same opportunities as men. Here you go.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be late, I couldn't complain, I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right. So let's check out where Skip Bayless comes to play here. In approximately July 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal, as it would star Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and a radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. And like we all know right now, Shannon left the show about a year or two ago.
Put your glasses back on.
And the show has rapidly declined in, and I don't even think Skip Bayless is still even on it. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Miss Faraji that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show. But Mr. Dixon, the executive, was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor when she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless' opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. So Skip was looking at Joey like, ugh, get your thirsty ass out of here, chick.
Get away from me, bitch!
But apparently, per this lawsuit, allegedly, Skip ain't above certain things. This comes from Front Office Sports. It reads, after starting work on Undisputed Morning Show starring Bayless, the suit alleges that he began giving Faraji, who's a hairdresser, lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Bayless she was not interested in him and did not date at work. She also claims she told Bayless she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in an effort to halt his advances. Instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years. According to the suit, he allegedly offered Faraji $1.5 million to have sex with him and claimed he could change her life. The suit also claimed Bayless accused Faraji of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, his co-star Undisputed. Shannon catching this stray. Guys, damn it! If this ain't the throw your mans under the bus game, I don't know what is. As the suit alleges, approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji, and this is the funniest part to me. Miss Faraji says, Skip, stop, you have a wife. Mr. Bayless responded, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives? Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken back, she made an excuse to leave. Like, But in my opinion, it gets even better. Skip out here thirsting. I really would like to think Skip Bayless kind of struck me as a very disciplined man who wouldn't go for things like that. But it just shows me you don't know these people personally, so who knows? But the funniest thing to me is that in between all of these accusations, another guy's name brought up in this, Emmanuel Acho, who I believe he's a cornball brother. Works for FS1. Apparently he was digging in Joy Taylor's guts too, man. Let's go back to the court document. Miss Taylor, again, uses her sexuality to get on a show. In approximately February 2020, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with the man, Emmanuel Acho. Miss Faraji did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at lunch, Miss Faraji noticed him in the hallway at work. Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed, explained she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time. Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. And we're gonna pause this for a second and we're gonna come back to it because the last few sentences in this document is one of the most important things in all seriousness. Let's clown a little bit. Apparently, Joy Taylor was banging Emmanuel Acho and this ninja had lost his mind because I was on Twitter and they just started bringing up all these old videos of Acho with his nose wide open for Joy Taylor.
But truly, in the sports industry, I do not know anyone that is more impressive in every way, shape, or form than the one and only Joy Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week.
Emmanuel Acho.
Shut up, bitch!
And nobody's trying to hear that misogyny. She's discriminated against. He said Joy Taylor's black. I didn't even know that. Is Joy Taylor black? That's not the point. The point is, it's looking like she slept her way up to the top, allegedly. Don't sue me, Joy. Let's go back to the court docs for a second. I'm gonna read that last sentence again. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plans to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. In approximately September 2022, Miss Taylor started to work on Speak. Miss Taylor requested Miss Faraji to do her hair. Let me read that again. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through with her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her.
You lying ass bitch.
See, now that shit right there is on a whole nother level. Fellas, how many men have we seen get caught up like this? And I don't want to make it seem like this Dixon dude, he's in the right here. He's obviously a married man. He obviously shouldn't be stepping out on his wife. But powerful men use their power every day to get what they want. It's been like that since the start of time. And even though you can call this dude a piece of shit for creeping on his wife, there's a difference between creeping on your old lady and being a rapist. From this lawsuit, allegedly, she sounded like she had all intentions on if someone was to hit the fan and she no longer needed him, she's gonna come back and say, he raped me, he forced himself on me. When it was consensual as all hell because she wanted to come up. She was serving things and White Claws, goddamn Hooters in Miami, but now she has a career on television with little to no experience. She was sucking off the goddamn VP. Which again, it's fine. I won't even hold it against you. I have a problem when women who specifically sleep their way up, which is probably the majority of the female broadcasters in sports, different subject for a different day. But when you talk that shit, like I had to work twice as hard to get where I'm at and I'm excellent at what I do, when in reality you just banging away. But even if that man is a piece of shit, that man got a family. You was willing to throw that man under the bus and have his children, his wife, thinking he's a rapist because you no longer found him useful. She said she's powerful now. Oh, were you powerful in that moment? All you did was bang the executive to get on Fox Sports 1 and to get on Skip and Shannon's show. Then you banged Ocho to get on this Speak for Yourself show. Your power is in between your legs. That's about it. So that's where we're at, man. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Do better, squad. Fall out. Skip, you better not be paying no 1.5 for no cat. Blasphemous. What Ernestine got to say about this?